My name is Dr. David Umubuari. I'm a university lecturer, but the views I'm going to express now are my own opinions. They don't belong to the university where I work. I teach entrepreneurship and banking and finance courses. That's besides the fact that I'm also an entrepreneur. I read accounting and economics for my first degree before I went on to do the MBA. I studied financial management for my doctorate. I'm a native of Edo State, Nigeria. I came into the university system after many years of banking as a bank manager. First, I worked with the Central Bank of Nigeria before we proceeded to serve in a couple of commercial banks. I had to give this background so that I would not be misconstrued because of what I'm going to be recommending. I don't produce petrol and I'm not involved in crude oil business. While commenting on what our renowned Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said about the difficulty of removing fuel subsidy in Nigeria, I mentioned that fuel subsidy could be removed without the fear of price increase of PMS. I promised that I would do some explanation in the video, and that's what I'm doing now. The basic requirements for my suggestions are that government should, number one, loosen up the space, the fuel supply space, which at present is too tight and too restrictive. The only source of PMS now in Nigeria is through importation. And of course, how it is done, how the prices are fixed, how the fuel subsidy is done is not known to majority of Nigerians. And then two, introduce transparency in the fuel business. There is a lot of opacity in fuel transactions in the country. And so there are lots of accusations and suggestions in darkness. In a free market economy, price is determined by the interplay of supply and demand. The present supply of fuel is too narrow. A country that is one of the highest producers of crude oil should not look to only one direction for the supply of PMS. To loosen the space and increase supply, I'm recommending the following options for government action. Number one, speed up the conclusion of the modular refineries that are under construction in some of the states. And I even encourage other states, to start the modular refineries. And two, this second option is my main concern. Allow individuals and firms in the Niger Delta who have the know-how about producing fuel using local technologies. Nigeria has local technologies for the production of many things. Fuel is just one of them. But we're discussing fuel today. Government should give opportunity to people who can use local technology for the production of PMS to go ahead and do so. Government has over the years repressed this avenue by destroying the facilities of these individuals and firms. I'm not quite sure of the reasons why government decided to close up this option. But I think that it has to do with the fear that these people might be involved in pipeline vandalization or stealing of of crude oil for fuel production, or that the fuel they were producing did not meet the standard required. But these issues can be dealt with. With all the work that government is doing to monitor and stop petroleum pipeline vandalization, stealing of crude oil should have been reduced to the barest minimum. Besides, if we register and monitor those who are using alternative technology for fuel production, their source of crude oil supply can be ascertained. As for standards, government can give them specifications which must be met before their products are purchased. My recommendations. Number one, government should invite and interview those who have knowledge of and access to alternative technologies for petroleum refinery. Invite about 100 of them for a start. And number two, those who show credibility at the interview should be granted license to produce PMS and possibly other petroleum products. 3, government will sell crude oil to them. I want to emphasize that. Government should sell crude oil to them. They should not be left alone to go about searching for crude oil for their production. Government will sell to them. And this method will also take care of the fear that they might be stealing crude oil. It is going to be at negotiated price. They will negotiate and the government will sell to them at agreed price. 4, their products will be purchased. That is, the PMS they will produce will be purchased, say, at 80 naira per liter, or as otherwise negotiated, by a body to be appointed by government. It could be the NNPC, or government could set up a petroleum trust board. PMS so purchased will be piped to the nation's petroleum depots, from where marketers will purchase their products. 5, transparency is demanded in all the transactions. People will need to know the production level of each producer, the price at which they are selling, the markup margin by the Petroleum Trust Board, and the price at which the board sells to the marketers. Although there will be no more subsidy, there must be price control. And marketers are required to abide by the controlled price of PMS. I hope my humble suggestion will be taken in good faith. Thank you for listening. God bless you.